Guys, welcome in. Today we're going to be talking about citizencon and why I think citizencon needs to be perfect this year. And I'm going to make this video pretty short. I'm going to get directly to the point. I know that monetization, you got to make an 8-minute video to get the ads, yada, yada, yada. But this video is going to be very short, concise, compact, to the point, all information, no fluff. So let's get into it. Also, if you want to help this channel out, subscribe, comment down below. Let's have a discussion about this. And we've had good discussions in the past. And if you're going to leave a comment, if you write me a story in the comments, I've got to be honest, I'm probably not going to read it. Just saying. I have a lot of things to do. But anyway, let's get right into it. The reason that I'm saying what I'm saying about citizencon needing to be perfect is because so far this year, it's been a rough year for CIG. Alpha 318 was a disaster. Alpha 319 has been less of a disaster, but a disaster in and of itself. You still have players showing up as invisible. You still have issues with replication and duplication, and all of these things still going on when they effectively should not be. And these things are effectively happening because we know that Squadron 42 is the main focus of development for Cloud Imperium games. Whether we like it or not, that just is what it is at this point. And there's little to nothing that we can do about it other than stop supporting the game. But even if we did, there will be more people that will come and support the game, even if we all just stopped completely. And they also have private money behind them too. So at this point, it's a moot point complaining about the development of Squadron 42 over the development of Star Citizen. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other players in the space, quote unquote, or so to speak. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about there's two very important games that are coming out that are going to be space-based games. One of those is Starfield, which we already know about. The other one is the Star Wars game that's going to be coming out, I believe, next year, and it's also going to be a console game. So, I mean, of course, you know, Starfield's an Xbox game, but I think the Star Wars game is going to be on all platforms. And why is that important? That is important because they're going to be able to reach more players that are interested in the space genre game. So, what does this mean for the development of Star Citizen and Squadron 42? That means that they can't come out in October and tell us that Squadron 42 is nowhere near completion. That answer is simply not going to work. It's not going to work because we have other games to play now. In years past, when the space genre was fleeting and there wasn't many options out there, you know, you just had like Space Engineers and you had a couple of other like low fidelity games that didn't look as good, and maybe there were some things missing and maybe some things weren't as polished as Star Citizen to be like, well, our game looks great. Our stuff is the best stuff out there. They can no longer stake this claim. I don't think they can stake the claim in the first place, but they can no longer claim this, right, as the leading edge of the space genre games. Now, I know the Star Citizen stands are going to be in my comments like, they don't have a persistent space game. That's not a space sim. I can't fly down to the planet and do all the things that I love to do. Bro, we get it, right? But at some point, my brother and sisters, you gotta have something that's actually fucking playable. The point of having a game is to be able to play it and also enjoy it and not have to fight through the bugs that consistently persist in Star Citizen. That is the point. Like, I don't care if I have to go and load down to a planet as long as I play the game and the experience is smooth. Because a part of the immersiveness of a game is that game running smooth. Does Star Citizen run smooth? No, it doesn't. Most of the time, it runs like crap, which breaks the immersion experience. Okay? For me, I like to be more immersed in a game that is actually functioning correctly, more so than having to fight bugs. And if Starfield and the Star Wars games that are coming out accomplish this, then personally I think that's a job well done. We get to citizencon here in October, and that's going to be like a month after, you know, Starfield has been out, and really it's going to be more like 6 to 7 weeks, because I think the early access, if you get the early access version, you're going to be able to play it like a week or 2 weeks early. We already know that the review copies are probably going to already be coming out probably somewhere in the beginning of August. So we're going to have probably a full 2 months of Starfield content before we even get to citizencon. And if Starfield is good, let's just say Starfield gets a lukewarm, not a lukewarm, but above a lukewarm reception. If it's good and it's not buggy, and they don't have to push out a bunch of updates to fix the game, I will call that a success. And I think the bar for game launches has been set extremely low with the disaster of titles that have come out within the past 4 years. If Starfield comes out and it's above average, that is a success. If it launches smooth and it works well on PC and it's just not a direct to PC port, that is a huge success. Does it spell trouble for Cloud Imperium in Star Citizen Squadron 42? Well, maybe. While I will concede that you won't be able to do a lot of the things that you can do in Star Citizen and Squadron 40 or in Starfield, you will be able to play the game smoothly. And some people will prefer a smooth experience over a buggy one. Like for the Foundation Festival for Star Citizen, I only played a couple of days just because I knew CIG server backend is getting blown out more than $2 whore. It can't handle it. It simply just can't keep up. And I've had long talks about this during my live streams about what's going on with their server technology, the actual hardware. Is it the best hardware or is it not? That's been the topic of my live streams. That's been the topic of something that I've been wanting to know more and more about. But at the same time, it's just like we will probably never know unless they are fully transparent and they let us see their hardware backend and their software backend, which I don't think they will. They need to come out on October, whatever date that is for the citizencon, and they need to give us something spectacular. And by spectacular, I mean tangible release dates for Squadron 42. I think anything beyond that and citizencon will be an utter disaster if they don't give us those release dates. And also, they need a release date for Pyro, because it's been almost 7-8 months and we haven't had any Pyro updates. They were doing the Inside Star Citizen, Road to Pyro, all this stuff, Road Journey to 4.0, and they just stopped because they couldn't figure out how to get the server meshing shit to work. This is why, in my opinion, it needs to be perfect. They have to knock it out of the park. And don't even get me started with ticket prices. Ticket prices were absolutely freaking ridiculous. And it's insane to me that they're charging that much to go to their convention. And you already know they're going to be selling JPEG ships during citizencon. They're going to woo everybody with a bunch of ships that you can't fly yet. They got me with the A1. I bought it, but I since then said that I will never ever buy another JPEG ship again. So I would urge people to not fall for the bullshit they're going to try to pull on you guys during citizencon with a bunch of new concept ships and things that are not in the game yet. They can no longer show us concepts. We need tangible, hard release dates. Let us know exactly what's going on, because at this point, there are other games that are going to be breaking into this genre and taking up that market space. And I'm interested to know what you guys think. So let's comment down below and let's have a discussion about this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.